Vulpine shows me how to roar. Now she shivers every time I do it. I didn't come to Corinth to learn how to roar. Came to fix a water pump. The colony's pipes rattled like old bones, and the foreman's patience was worse. In and out, Jace, Kate had said, spitting amber tobacco into the dust. The natives won't bother you if you don't go near their stones. But the stones were what drew me. Towering basalt monoliths ringed around a valley lake like black teeth. And that's where I met her. She stepped out of the glare as if it parted for her, for catching the light like wheat. A vulpine, yet unlike the skittish silhouettes I'd glimpsed on the ridges. Her eyes were old forest green. The braids in her russet hair were tied with copper wire and pale beads of bone. "You carry the settler's tools," she said in a voice with edges and music. "And yet you walk our circle. Do you know what it is?" "Rock," I said, clever as always. Her smile flickered. "It is a throat." Before I could parse that, the ground gave a long, low moan. The basalt sang. Water trembled across the lake in concentric rings. I felt it in my ribs, that note. Too low to name, too deep to ignore. She steadied me with a hand on my chest. The touch was light, but I swayed as if she'd put a weight on my heart. "Who are you?" I asked. "Sori," she said. "You are inside the valley's voice, off-worlder. If you don't learn to answer it, it will not hear you when you beg." "Beg for what?" "To live," she said simply. She brought me to a cave mouth where wind coiled like a living thing. The basalt arch made every breath a tone. She placed my palms against the stone. "Hum," she said. Tried. Read thin air squeaked out of me. She tilted my chin, set my stance. Knees unlocked, spine long, jaw loose. "Not from here," she said, tapping my throat. "From here." Her fingers found the wide place beneath my sternum, the hidden drum. "Let the ribs be a barrel. Shape the air with your tongue. Offer it to the stone." I tried again. The tone wobbled and fell apart. Sori's ears flattened. "Too sharp," she murmured. "You cut yourself when you mean to fill." She was right. I was all edges, tools, wrenches, answers. The valley asked for resonance, not repair. The third time something caught. My hum slid down, a stone in a well, and the cave answered. The ridge of basalt thrummed, and I felt it pass through me, an intimate recognition like a name whispered in sleep. Sori shivered. She stepped back quickly, braids brushing her collarbone. Again. I did it again. The note found me, and she shivered again. Visible, involuntary, not fear but something else, like ripples over glass. "Are you cold?" asked foolishly. "It is a reflex," she said, gathering herself. "Our nerves remember certain harmonics. We tremble when we recognize them, when a voice matches, a bond." She grimaced. "It is rude to do this to a stranger." "I didn't mean." "You did not know," she allowed, then looked at my chest as if it were a wild instrument. "Learn faster. The miners will bring their cannons when the sun lowers. They will try to hush the stones." "Cade wouldn't," I began, and then bit the words off because yes, he would. News in a small colony moves like fire in old grass. By evening, the ridge above the valley was bristling with angular metal. Tripods, humming dishes, the shadow of Cade sonics against the low cloud. He'd parked his crawler where the lake's mouth constricted, choking the outflow. His men wore hearing guards and had no guards for their hearts. Cade shouted down when he saw me with Sori. "Jace, get away from that animal. We're flushing this bowl and running a pipe straight to the farm line." "It's a throat," I shouted back, surprising myself. "You'll strangle everything that drinks from it." "That's the idea," he yelled, laughing, and turned to his rigged chief. "Test pulse." Sori's ears pinned. The valley stones vibrated too fast, a sickening flitter. Birds in the reeds cracked against the air and fell. "Answer it," Sori said, voice tight. "We will sing around it." "I'm not ready." "Nobody is," she said. "We act anyway." We climbed to the ring stones. She set me between two monoliths, each taller than a ship house. The cannon on the ridge whined toward a second pulse. "Lower," she said. I opened the barrel of my ribs. The hum dragged bottom like a net. My tongue shaped the mouth of the tone. The stones caught it, and in the spaces between their black teeth the lake made a new pattern. Sori's voice braided with mine, richer and older, a ribbon of iron through honey. She sang a counterharmonic, neither louder nor angrier than Cade's machine, but truer. When our notes touched, she shivered and I swayed, and the air itself chose a side. Cade's second pulse broke like a wave against rock. He cursed and dialed up. He'd brought power for a siege. He believed in power the way I once believed in a wrench. Sori nodded at me once. "Call the old one." "The what?" "Every throat has a guardian," she said. "You felt it when you first stepped into the circle. Offer it your name." The miner's dish found a shriek. Stones juddered. My teeth rang. I took a breath that felt like theft. I remembered Sori's fingers, sternum, spine, jaw, and I gave the valley not volume but vow. "I am Jace," I roared. Not a shout but a declaration shaped by stone and body. The sound gathered itself along every basalt grain. It swept out across the lake in a visible tremor. The water bulged. The lake took a breath. The old one rose. It was not a beast in any way Cade's men understood. It was a structure the valley wore, a turtleback of basalt pushed up on a column of contained quake. It blinked a lid of light and turned its attention toward the ridge and all the little machines that had never before had to answer to anything older than debt. Cade's men scrambled. The cannon bucked when the old one breathed on it. Bolts melted. The dish sank into itself like wet tin. Cade stood his ground, small and bright with rage. He raised a hand to signal his crew to bring the crawler horn to full. I roared again, Jace again, and now the valley knew the name. Sori matched me, her voice rapping mine, and I felt her tremble travel through our shared note into the ground. The old one turned and moved, not forward toward destruction, but sideways, sliding on its column to nudge gently at the crawler's track. The machine skated, tipped, settled a dozen feet from the water, unharmed but useless until someone wiser came to tow it. The silence after was not empty. It was acceptance. Cade's men took off their guards one by one. Cade himself stared at the lake as if it had played a trick on him. He spat once, missed, and climbed back into his buckled rig without a word. We sat on the ring stones until the lake's breath evened. Sori's braids were mussed. She was very carefully not looking at me. "I didn't mean to make you do that," I said. "The shiver." She almost smiled. "Our grandmothers said it is a good sign, for those who work together. A harmonious tremble warns us when the voice we are with could move us, toward love, toward danger, toward change. And me. You are all three," she said, and then stood. "Come. The circle will want payment for our use." "Payment." "Story," she said. "We feed it what we are." We stayed until moonrise and told the stones how we met. I told them about tools and how nothing I fixed ever sang back. Sori told them about her mother's mother, who taught miners the quiet place in their throats until they could walk through storms without shouting at the sky.